What's up, guys? Max here, back with another brand new episode of the ScuttleButt Show, and it's Friday out here in Okinawa, Japan, so it's the last live show of the week. What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Ned? Coming in first in the comments, Mudrock, Chris, we got Kaiser in the house, and everybody else who might be out there watching from home. Nuggets, if I mentioned you, what's up? Welcome, everybody. I'm happy to see you here today. We have an awesome episode in front of us, but first, as always, let's knock out a quick about yesterday. A couple things here, a couple things. The first and most important thing is shout out to A.O. Nixo. A.O. Nixo had his daughter. So if you guys found my channel because of A.O. Nixo, if that's how you got over here for the very first time ever, I want to give a shout out to A.O. Nixo. Good for him. Congratulations, bro. I'm so happy for you. Looks like you got a nice, healthy baby daughter, and it sounds like the family's doing good. So I'm just over the moon for you, dude. I hope you're super enjoying that new special life in your life. Okay, so we had a fun show yesterday. I felt really good about that resolution we came to with the SGLI. You know what I'm saying? Let's give a hoo-yah, bravo zoo to A.O. Nixo. Kaiser says, perfect timing. I'm walking in the liquor store. Let's get turned. Let's do it. What's your choice? What's your go-to? What's your drink? I'm curious to know. So we had that show yesterday with that talking about the SGLI, and I feel like we came to a really good conclusion about that. I feel good about that. I feel like if the Marine Corps could hear our chat on that, they would be able to easily settle that case. And I just want to say, if those parents are out there, if they ever see this video, do the right thing. Take care of your daughter-in-law. Just do the right thing. It's that simple. And today, we've got some stories about doing the right thing. We've got some crazy stories, including about a soldier who's facing charges, potentially prison, over an event that happened last summer in Syria. We've got a story, some fun stuff about some soldiers having fun in the barracks. The Army is going to take a look at bad conduct discharges and see if maybe we can get some of those overturned. I'm all about this. I'm all about this. We're going to talk about poor troops, not poor troops like, oh, those poor troops, but broke-ass troops. We're going to talk about broke-ass troops and the whole deal with this. New sub, let's go. That subscriber alert doesn't... It's like not consistent. I feel like people subscribe all the time and it doesn't always pop up. But to Commandant Evil, who just subscribed, whatever you're about, dude, I want to thank you for being here. And a little hometown hero as well. We got a little hometown hero. And I just added, at the last second, I made an executive decision to add a music video by a veteran Air Force female friend of mine out here in Okinawa, Japan. I filmed and edited this music video for her, and we're doing another one. So I want to give a shout out to this musician out here, and we're going to watch her music video at the end of the show. Her musician name, stage name is Ace, and the song is called Deuce, if you guys want to look it up. Oh, and one more thing. The Midnight Chow episode that I was on with Regal T-Type from the chat here is up. It's live now, and there's a link in the description of this video. Go show his channel some love. Let's go, Justin. Another one. I got you. Another one. Let's go. Let's go. We got one more for the week, and let's go. The music video, you know, I get down with some hip-hop. You know what's crazy? Music makes you lose control. Let's go, Nuggets. That's old school. How do you know that song? So, you know what's crazy is I've actually been a part of a number of hip-hop songs. I know you might be like, Max, how have you been a part of a number of hip-hop songs? I used to be in a band. We've reviewed my music on this show before, and if you guys want to ever look up the band that I was in, it was called Dante's Boneyard. And it was dope, by the way. It was awesome. And we actually did some hip-hop songs with some musicians named Big Psych and Nocturnal, who you might know, because they used to record with Tupac and with Dr. Dre. So I played bass in the band, to answer Ned's question. So I actually recorded some super gangster hip-hop songs I played bass on, and we played some music for. So you guys should go check out our band Dante's Boneyard. It was sick. It was like if Blink-182 sang reggae music is how it was. Probably the best way to describe it. So let's see. What am I doing? It's Friday. I'm filming a music video. We got some music to talk about. Music just puts me in a good mood. Music just gets me going. So let's get going and let's talk about our first story today, which is about broke-ass troops. Why is the military still on food stamps? Bill would expand a number of military families who qualify for food assistance. You know, so you see these people working at a food bank out there in Maryland. It's some Navy shipmates of mine, and they're putting together some care packages of food. You know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think about military active duty members being on food stamps, WIC, EBT, SNAP, you name it? What do you guys think about that? Let's see. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Thousands of military families face food insecurity, but the way the Department of Agriculture calculates eligibility for federal benefits is locking many of them out of assistance. A group of lawmakers are hoping to change that with the Military Hunger Prevention Act reintroduced Thursday by Senators Tammy Duckworth, who, whatever you think about Tammy Duckworth, maybe you love her, maybe you hate her. She's a veteran. She served. She's a Purple Heart recipient, and I think she's doing a good job, and she advocates for veterans. Marsha Blackburn, and a Republican from Tennessee. The law would require the USDA to calculate a service member's eligibility from their basic pay rather than considering their basic allowance for housing, a stripe that helps service members pay rent or mortgage when they live. I think that's supposed to be a stipend. I think that word striped is supposed to be stipend, but militarytimes.com couldn't take the time to have their editor review this story. So right now they include BAH as part of their income, but the federal government does not acknowledge allowances as part of the income. So why does the Department of Agriculture? Basically what happens is, right now, we know that there are many military families that have to rely on food stamps, that are food insecure, and many more that would qualify for the program, except that they can't because their BAH was being counted against them. The bill is co-sponsored by a group of 11 bipartisan lawmakers and has a companion bill in the House. And E3, with a spouse and one child, is eligible for the Supplemental National Assistance Program, SNAP, according to the USDA's chart. But if they live off base, the money they receive to secure their own housing is counted as part of their overall income. Interesting. What's up, downtown? The food insecurity has been in the military family conversation for years. Duckworth first introduced the same bill back in 2018 after volunteering and learning about this issue. She says, and I saw the wife of somebody I knew who was still actively serving come through the food pantry, she said. And I had the same reaction as most Americans. What do you mean? There are military families that are having to use food pantries. What do you mean? The military families need to use SNAP benefits? The way the pay scales have been, it's really based on a force that doesn't exist anymore, she said. It's based on a force that was half the force is mostly younger and unmarried. Today you have most of the junior ranks of both commissioned and enlisted folks are married. So if you are a private and you are married with a child, you qualify for SNAP. And so we do need to take a look at the pay scales and how we deal with compensation. So it is sad. It's sad. Justin says, raise base pay. It'll make the military more competitive to civilian occupations. It would help food insecure families and get better recruits. That's a great point. Can't we just spare a little more of the tax budget? So Kaiser says tax the rich. So here's the deal. Here's what I think. I think that the whole conversation, right, about federal minimum wage and all this stuff, it seems wrong to me. That anybody working full-time can't afford to live in a house and feed their family. Like, I get really worked up when I think about hungry families suffering from hunger in the United States, with all the food that we waste, and, you know, so much food gets thrown away. And I think I've had this conversation on the show before. There are, like in New York, for example, where I'm from in New York, I worked at some restaurants. I worked at IHOP. I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. And there was this whole thing about food from restaurants that was surplus, that was, you know, waste, could not be given to people. It had to be disposed of in a certain way because there was like a black market for food. People were going around getting extra food from restaurants and selling it on like a black market deal. So that was horrible. Like, there's all this horrible, like, dark world of food going on out there. And it's really heartbreaking that people out there can be active duty with a wife and a kid, an E3 with a wife and a kid, and not be able to afford, or that their income falls below the line of being eligible for SNAP, basically federal benefits for food. It's sad. That's what I think. It's sad. And, you know, then on the other side, you know, when you join the military, When you join the military, you know what your pay is going to be, right? You know what your pay is going to be. You know the deal with dependents and kids. And if you have a kid after you join the military, some people have kids and they join the military to make money to support their family. If you join the military as an E3, which is the highest rank you can join the military in, is enlisted, you get out there and you can't afford to feed your family, that sucks. If you know, that's really sad. If you join the military and then you have a family and then you can't afford the family, some part of that's got to be considered in the planning process of having a family. Like, hey, you're going to get married, you're going to have a kid. You can't afford that stuff. So that's a problem. Let's see. Justin says, paraphrasing FDR, a business who can't pay its employees a living wage doesn't belong in this country. I voted for Marsha Blackburn in what election? I'm not sure who did she run against Tammy Duckworth? Stopping to say what's up watching the NFL draft. What's up, Eric? Thanks for stopping in then in that case, because I am not interested in the NFL, to be totally honest with you guys. It means very little or nothing to me, so I'm not watching the draft. I actually didn't know we got pie in the military until P days at boot camp. I was pretty surprised at the food in basic training for the Navy had so many dessert options, to be honest with you. I agree with you, Justin. So I think it sucks that an active duty military family with a service member with a spouse and a child cannot afford to feed their family, and even at that point is even eligible for, paid. Well, I'm surprised at pie too, bro. I'm surprised too. At both of those things. I knew we were going to get paid, and I knew it wasn't going to be a lot because you can look that stuff up. Maybe if you have a bachelor's degree, you can come in as an E4. Oh, that must be an Army thing. In the Navy, you can't come in as an E4. It has to be an E3. So maybe the military should look at how much they're paying the junior enlisted, like we talked about yesterday. That's got to be a problem with the retention thing too. Now, to counter that, you have to look at, like, let's say you do have a family. If you add in like how much you would be paying in health insurance for a family compared to what you pay in the Navy, if you add that to your salary, that becomes a lot more money. If you look at the fact that you could be getting all your utilities for free living on base, you got to look at that added into it. There's other stuff to consider here too. Like, it's not so cut and dry because the military, if you look at the tax breaks you get, depending on what state you live in, for being in the military, there's all this stuff that you got to consider, I guess, to actually flush out what the equivalent civilian salary is for the military. Because if you guys have ever seen this, or if you're in the military, you've seen this. If you're an E6 in the military, assuming you live out in town somewhere with BAH, you would have to make $100,000 annually as your salary to match your military income. So if you get a job out in town and you're like, damn, this job pays $80,000. Well, guess what? You're actually going to be making less money than when you were active duty. And a big part of that is taxes. If you've been enjoying tax breaks, because your taxable income does not include your BAH and your BAS and all these other special pays and allowances that you get. Well, special pays are taxed. Allowances are not taxed. Now, this was a shock to me when I got out of the Navy and went to go get a job as a contractor, and I start getting paid, and I was paying 40% of my income to taxes because I lived in California. It was probably like 35% of my income to taxes. 35% of my income to taxes. And I was making over $100,000 a year, and my take-home pay was like $20 less than it was as an E6 in the Navy. So you do what you want with that information. Just something to consider, okay? The military is a competitive salary. That's true. But there is less competition as an E1, E2, E3, because if you're 18, 19 years old, you could go out and get a job that you could be making more than an E1, E2, E3 was making. So it kind of crisscrosses, okay? The pay scale kind of crisscrosses. When you join, you're broke. Straight up. And for some reason, we've accepted that as just part of the military contract that you have to, deal with. Junior enlisted or broke. We just accept that. It's kind of jacked up. And then the E5, E6, E7, 01, 02, 03, CWO 1, 2, 3, you're rolling in dough. You're making a ton of money, and you're saving tons of money in benefits, and you're racking up retirement or 401k, and you are looking at all your benefits that you get after you separate. So you're getting your GI Bill, you're getting your disability, you're getting your free health care from the VA benefits and all this stuff. There's a lot to consider here. There's a lot to consider here. I think that the problem exists, and we laugh at the idea of the E1s, E2s, E3s go out and they take payday loans. They go buy their cars at 27% interest and all this stuff. We have a good, we have a good laugh at their expense for that kind of thing, but it's freaking real. It is absolutely a real thing. It happens daily. It's happening today. I wish I had some sad music I could play with hand. And right now, there's an E3 getting picked up from the gate of his base to be driven to a Camaro dealership. When he gets to the Camaro dealership, the car salesman will offer him a deal. This deal will include a 2016 Chevy Camaro, $8,000 off MSRP. And it was a rental car, so you know it was taken care of. You can have all this on only a 12-year loan. Sure, by the time you pay it off, you're looking at over $80,000. But who's going to be the coolest guy on base? Plus, how long is your enlistment? 6 years? Well, that's half the loan right there. If you even make $200 a month extra payment, you'll pay it off in half the time. Oh, you want to ride home? No, we don't do rides home. We just take you from the base to the dealership. You're driving yourself home in a Camaro. No, you don't have to call your chief. You don't have to call your chief. No, it's fine. You don't have to call your chief. It's all good. Sign here. Oh, you want me to knock something off the price? Let me talk to my manager. Wait right there. Enjoy a latte from our latte machine. I've spoken with the manager. We're going to throw in an air freshener. Yeah, we have a deal? All right. I almost joined myself, but I would have punched the drill instructor if they got in my face. Okay. Hey, you know what? That kind of worked out perfect, huh? How I just improvised that whole thing. I mean, it's from personal experience, but I just was able to improvise that whole thing. Let's get some likes on this video for that dramatization of every E2 buying a car. What would you do for a Klondike bar? What's up, Game Hopes? Well, I joined the stream at one hell of a time, and he just remarried his high school sweetheart right out of boot camp. That was some good stuff. Thank you, guys. Thank you for that. Hey, let's get some likes on the video for that, okay? Because we're going to move on from this story. By the way, Patreon's open. Patreon's open for business. Patreon.com/The ScuttleButt Show. Link in the description. If you do join as an elite patron, you get a free t-shirt on your second month. Seemed like a flashback, Justin said. Oh, it was. It was. We've all had that situation that happened to us or someone we know. And ScuttleButtShow.com for all your merch needs. If you need socks, if you need shirts, if you need water bottles, stickers, you name it, it's on ScuttleButtShow.com. 5% off using the discount code that rolls at the beginning of this program every day. I think it's Scuttlebutt Live 2020 or something like that. Scuttlebutt Live. Anyway, let's go with an important story. We've got an important story. I just wasted so much time with that dramatization. It wasn't a waste. It was fun. But we've got an important, I actually really am about this next story. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm always talking about how the military will just turn when I tell people, you got to go to medical, you got to complain about things that are wrong with you. You've got to make sure that you take care of yourself and be a little selfish, because the military will take everything from you and not blink. Okay? And that's their job. And nobody expects them to do anything different. And you signed that contract, so you should take care of yourself too. Here we go. This is a good example of that. Army to review thousands of bad paper discharges in court settlement. This is important. This is an important story here. A federal court has approved a settlement in a lawsuit that requires the U.S. Army to review thousands of other than honorable OTH discharges issued in the past decade to soldiers with mental health conditions or traumatic brain injuries. Basically, there are so many people in the military who did so much great honorable service, including deploying to Iraq and Afghanistan over and over again, sacrificing their bodies, enduring major injuries, and then 12, 15, 18 years into their career, 20 years into their career, they make a mistake. They make a mistake. Because in a lot of cases, people are suffering from TBI, PTSD, depression, anxiety, alcoholism, you name it. And maybe they turned to substance abuse. Maybe they got addicted to pain pills, to opioids in the military, and then they get busted for taking some that were expired. They got prescribed them, and then they just took them the prescription amount a week longer than the prescription was for when the prescription expired, and now they're getting OTH'd out of the military. That's dirty. So many people got did dirty by the military. It is ridiculous. It's horrible. Judge Charles Haidt with the U.S. District Court of Connecticut approved the agreement Monday in the class action suit formerly known as Kennedy versus McCarthy, which charged that the service wrongly discharged troops who engaged in misconduct, but whose behavior may have been caused by a psychiatric condition or brain damage. Yeah, you think geniuses? You think so, maybe? The Army announced in January that it would review all other than honorable discharges since April 17, 2011 for eligible service members. An estimated 3,500 active duty reserve and National Guard troops affected by post-traumatic stress disorder or other psychiatric conditions, trauma related to sexual assault or brain injury. Under the settlement, the Army will also notify soldiers who received OTHs from October 7, 2001 to April 16, 2011 of their ability to apply for an upgrade or to appeal a previous denial. But you know what? If you're one of these people from 2001 to 2006 to 2011 who are being, affected by this, you've been living up to 20 years, close, 19 or more years with an other than honorable discharge from the military under your belt without your benefits. I hope if they overturn these discharges, I hope they give them back pay for every single one of their benefits they missed, college. I hope they settle for lost wages. I hope they get free health care for life. If they overturn these people's other than honorable discharges, then they need to go back and make it right. They need to go back and do the right thing. In the lawsuit, Steve Kennedy, a former 82nd Airborne soldier and Iraq War veteran, and Alicia Carson, a National Guard veteran who deployed to Afghanistan for nearly a year, said the Army Discharge Review Board ignored the policy. Shortly before his discharge, Kennedy was suicidal and suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, according to court documents. He went absent without leave to attend his own wedding, and as a result, he was demoted to private first class and kicked out of the service. Now he's a University of Connecticut School of Law student, received a discharge status upgrade in 2018, but decided to pursue the lawsuit. Good for him. And pursue law. I love when an injustice drives someone to become an activist for that cause, right? So if people get wrongfully discharged or prosecuted by the military, they become an attorney. I love that. I love that kind of story. So it goes on to say that there's going to be, more of reviews of these discharges. But long story short, let's see, more than 51,000 discharges under the other honorable conditions were issued for active duty personnel from fiscal 2010 through 2020. 51,000, that's a lot. So getting these overturned would be very life-changing for a lot of veterans who are struggling just to get by because they have bad papers. You go to apply for a job, federal job, anything like that, military service, whatever you want to do, you have very little chance of being successful with that if you have bad papers. So, I really hope that they do the right thing, give these a fair review, give people a voice to be heard, and have them the opportunity to overturn their bad conduct discharges. I've been saying this for a long time. It's BS. It's total BS. Horrible. And then let's take it a step further and let's review the training for the commanding officers. Let's review what people who actually have the power of the UCMJ in their hands are doing to be aware of these types of things so that they don't happen in the future. I'm actually curious now. If you become a commanding officer, you can punitively punish people. Did I just say this? That's like very the same thing twice. So that's pretty redundant. You can issue punishments under the UCMJ to people for violating basically anything. Now, is anyone qualified? Are any of those people qualified to assess this type of like psychiatric evaluation type standard that they're having for what might have caused this thing to happen in the first place? Because, yeah, there's some people who just need to get kicked out of the military. There's no question about it. No question. Then there's people who do a great job for a decade, and then they make one mistake after 6 deployments, and they're getting kicked out. And that's BS. Total BS. And then they say, you've brought great discredit upon the Navy or the Marine Corps or the Army or the Air Force or the Space Force. Great discredit. You've discredited the military. Yeah, sure, we jacked you up, gave you head injuries, PTSD, horrible violence, all this stuff, and then you smoked weed because of your chronic pain, depression, anxiety, PTSD, divorce, everything, and you've brought great discredit upon the United States military. What a joke. What a joke. That's BS. I'd like to see anybody who could have their whole career reviewed, pass, that kind of analysis without any hiccups in their career, without any mistakes that they made. Total garbage. What's up, Regal, in the chat? If you guys want to check out that episode of Midnight Chow, you can go check it out. It's linked in the description of this video. So you can click over there and hear a little bit about my story, my life story. We got into it pretty deep. So let's see. I was in the Army, punched a drill instructor. Now I got swastika tattoos from my stint in the pen. Is that true? Is that true, Kaiser? Yeah, but if you tell them what hurts you, don't get your flight shit. Yeah, well, that's true too. Heard of a guy who was, well, no, Justin, actually, that's not true. That's not necessarily true, right? Because you can always tell them what hurts you and then not, seek any treatment or get any x-rays or anything. You can just make a complaint to your corpsman so that stuff goes in your record. You should always verbalize what's wrong with you. I have back pain. Oh, do you want any treatment? Do you want a diagnosis? No. I just want you to put in my record that I have back pain. That's how you build a medical history. Because the VA understands that stuff. So you just have to verbalize it and get it in your record. Put it on your PHA, your yearly physical. Just put back pain, eye strain, whatever you've got, ankle exploded, whatever it is. You just have to tell them. Heard of a guy who was discharged for not wearing earplugs while firing an M72, discharged for medical reasons. Well, yeah, if he failed his hearing test. And if you've ever shot a gun next to your ear without earplugs in, it's horrible. So let's see, we've got this needs to happen in the United Kingdom too. Unhonorably discharged, breaks dreams and visions. It's sickening, really. Yeah, Game Hopes. Thank you for always chiming in from the UK and letting us know what's going on out there. Absolutely. I'm sure it's the same thing in the UK. If the Fed legalized marijuana, it'd be legal in the military. Yeah, probably. Not true for me, but true for some. Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, people have had one slip up. There's a great movie. It's not military related, but there's an awesome movie called Felon, and you guys should watch it. I recommend Felon. I think it's available streaming somewhere. It's just called Felon. Really good. Great job on Midnight Chow. I look forward to seeing more interviews. Yes, let's go. Get some support for Midnight Chow, for Regal. Do suicides from bad discharges count for suicides in the Army? I do wonder. We have the same problem over here. People are left hopeless, broken, dreamless. No, I think if you're a veteran, all suicides count as like kind of to the VA for the Department of Veteran Affairs, counting the suicide numbers for veterans, but not, I don't know if the Army tracks people after they leave the Army, if they are, how they're doing. I don't think that there's much of that. So, all right, we got to keep moving. Half an hour already into the show, and we still got some big stories to cover. One of those stories, I'm going to let this story speak for itself, because we have an awesome story right here, which is Hometown Hero. Don't you love these official military videos, these official government videos where they have like the 5 W's here kind of in the beginning? But basically this guy, he's Pony Boy. He's Pony Boy. Let's check this out.
I'm Sergeant First Class Jedediah Powell, work up here in Portland. at the 41st Brigade. So after basic in IET, I joined as a traditional guardsman, weekend warrior, 1 week a month, 2 weeks out of the year. Shortly thereafter that, I volunteered for my first deployment to Iraq in 2004 through 2005. I boarded overseas as an AGR, and immediately upon that deployment was hired on as an active guard reserve AGR. So I'm full-time wearing the uniform Monday through Friday in supporting the M-Day soldiers throughout the month. It was a normal business day in the office. It was late November. It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. My maintenance worker.
KPBS presents the 2021
Oh my God, there's
Film
an ad.
Festival San Diego.
I'm sorry.
State employee opened up the door and stated that he thought there may be a house fire down the street. I asked him if there was any first responders there, police officer, fire department. He mentioned that there was no one there. And so I made a quick decision, got up from the desk, ran out the door, ran down the street about a block and a half. When I first got to the house, I noticed that there was a female and a teenage boy, he was assisting his mother out of the building. She was extremely severely burned, and all he could say was, please help my mom, please help my mom. And so I assisted her on getting as far away from the house as possible. So I got up. I was trying to ask him if there was anyone inside the home. He couldn't say really anything other than just please help my mom. So I ran into the home. There's huge flames coming from the kitchen, a lot of smoke. I noticed a woman on my right-hand side that was disoriented down on the floor. She was trying to grab a dog. There was a dog next to her. So I grabbed her aggressively and the dog to hurry up and get him out of the house. I got her out the front door, laid her next to the woman out front, and went back inside. Tried to use my shirt to cover my face as much as possible. There was a ton of smoke in the house, and down the hallway to the left-hand side, there was a bathroom on the right, and then 2 bedrooms that I cleared. And as I came back out the front door, I met up with my supply NCO. He got to the house at that time.
He's like, there were 2 bedrooms on the right. I cleared those, saved everybody inside, and continued to clear the house.
We ran to the back side of the house to ensure that there was no one trapped in the garage that I couldn't see. After we thought the house was completely empty, we went ahead and went to the front side of the house, noticed that there was first responders there, felt it was under control, and we decided to go back to work. Just because of our training, the things that we're pushed into, it allows us to assist in those stressful situations without hesitation. It really wasn't no big thing, honestly. I think anyone wearing this uniform would have done the exact same thing as I did.
Major Matthew Branstetter, the 41st Brigade, S1. In 1922...
S1 is like admin. That's like your admin department.
The War Department recognized that acts of bravery should be acknowledged, and so they started issuing orders during peacetime for soldiers for acts of bravery. In 1926, through an act of Congress, the Soldier's Medal Award was created. In order to earn the Soldier's Medal, a soldier has to make a conscious decision to put themselves in harm's way in order to save a life. Just the act of saving a life does not warrant a Soldier's Medal, but they have to make that conscious decision. The Soldier's Medal is the highest medal you can earn during peacetime, and it requires a significant amount of supporting documentation in order to issue that award. There needs to be supporting documents from those who witnessed the event, including a narrative as to what happened during the event in order for the soldier to earn that medal. It takes a significant amount of work by the units in order to prepare that medal and to submit it to their chain of command in order to get it approved. Ultimately, it's going to be awarded.
Damn, he's a big dude. Look at him there, towering over everybody else. Damn, he must have had to get low to avoid that smoke in the house.
By the President of the United States, so it needs to go through a litany of reviews by multiple levels in order to actually approve that medal.
Attention to orders. To all who shall see these presents in greeting, this is certified that the President of the United States of America, authorized by the Act of Congress 2 July 1926, has awarded the Soldier's Medal to Sergeant First Class Jedediah Powell for heroism, dated 10 December 2020.
Let's go. Get that hua. The article goes on to say how humble of a guy this is. Absolute hero. Bravo Zulu to Jedediah Powell. Good for you, man. Good for you going in there and saving those people. So that's a nice story. And hey, the Army actually got him an award too. How about that? That's incredible. It says that the Army actually went out of their way to get him an award. So that's good work. So that's crazy. He ran into fire to save civilians. And I like how he said anybody in the uniform would have done the same thing. That's how you represent. That's how you represent right there. Let's see. We got everybody says he's on. I like how Nugget said he's on a nonstop saving spree. Nonstop saving spree. Double save. Triple save. Save-tacular. Let's go. Great respect for this guy. Kaiser says got a DD. What is that? What is that? Drunk driving? Ugh, not good. Don't do that. Got PTSD from childhood. It's no big thing. Go Army. We heroes. Yes, a lot of people have PTSD from all kinds of different things. I hope you're dealing well with that. Justin says, nah, bro, I did that after a hard landing and said I had back pain. The flight surgeon said if I didn't cross it out and tell him I was not pain-free, he would give. That's bull crap, Justin. That is bull crap. I'm sorry that happened to you because that is total bull crap. I had to lie in order to go on that bridge deployment. It was kind of a shop joke that you got to stay silent. You got to lie in order to fly. That sucks, man. I guess I've heard that obviously, but I can't believe they actually told you to cross it out. Great job, Sergeant First Class Powell. Bravo Zulu to that hero. What's up, DWK Videos? I hope you know that you're in my chat and that comment was intended for me accurately. So we've got two more stories here, and then we're going to play that music video that I shot and edited so you guys can see that. Air Force out here representing. Quick question, does the U.S. Army or Armed Forces have any gaming esports teams? They do. They do. Serving reserves of any front over here are allowed to join a like-minded community of soldiers. There are esports teams. They actually had some major esports drama. I've got a video on my channel. If you look up Army esports on my channel, I've got a video all about that. So there is a lot of esports drama, and it's currently they have esports in the Navy, in the Army. I think maybe Air Force and Marine Corps has their own thing. But yeah, they do have that. So we've got, this is just for fun, okay? The Army has done something pretty spectacular, pretty awesome. This may be the greatest barracks nerf battle we've ever seen from Task and Purpose. Like, just look at these screenshots right here. I'm not going to waste your guys' time. Let's get to the video. It's from TikTok, obviously. In the greatest event of nerf war I've ever seen, the Army goes and does something really neato. So let's check it out. I like how it said the massacre of the 1000 hallway or the 1100 hallway. Combat roll. Did you guys see that combat roll? By the way, combat roll is a real thing. A combat roll is a real thing that you get trained on and practice. It is a real maneuver, the combat roll. So epic. Just wait. Just wait. They've got like a, what is it, like a minstrel or whatever? They've got a guy playing guitar, playing the war song. Epic. Wait, let's roll back one more time. Uncut. I love the guy playing guitar. Might be my favorite part. Or if you look at this dude who's got like the minigun, and he's just like this big kind of goofy looking dude that you see on the left side of your screen right now, who's just standing there with the minigun, just like full auto with 1,000 Nerf balls in there. Nerf's come a long way, you guys. I don't even recognize Nerf guns anymore. Like Nerf minigun, Nerf machine gun, probably Nerf sniper rifle. What is going on? How much do these even cost? How much Nerf dollars do you think are dropped on the floor right there? And bravo Zulu to these guys who probably had 10,000 Amazon delivery boxes brought to their place to deliver all of these Nerf guns and ammo. I guess if it's too expensive to shoot regular weapons, you might as well shoot Nerf. Might as well. Hey, why not? Screw it. Nerf all the way. That was just super fun. If you guys want to go check that out, it's available on TikTok and probably YouTube, and it's definitely available at Task and Purpose. You can just look up Army Nerf Gun Battle. So we've got, our big debate that I want to have with you guys today, and I really want your thoughts on this. Okay, let me ask you this. Nah, I'm not going to. We're going to do the music video at the end. So we've got a guy. We've talked on the show before about the United American Patriots and their attempts to represent Americans in court who have been accused of war crimes or something on their record about their service, and they're facing court-martial charges. We've got the MARSOC 3. We've got some of the other people here. We've got it's referenced here on the article, but we'll just get to it. So basically, we've got a guy who is facing charges over something that happened in Syria in the summer of 2020, and I don't know. I think it's hard to say exactly what I think about it, but let's review the facts and see what you guys think. Gunfight at Syrian checkpoint leads to charges against Sergeant First Class. So Sergeant First Class Robert Nickerson pictured here during a patrol in Syria. So you can see they're rocking some Matt V's, and they've got some, they're clearly Americans. They represent the flag out there so that people know who they are. This is important because in Syria, there's the Assad regime, then there's the militias or the anti-Assad regime, then there is ISIS, and we were over there as part of Operation Inherent Resolve, and all this crazy stuff going on. So a gunfight broke out between U.S. paratroopers and pro-Syrian regime forces last summer. It has led to charges against a senior enlisted soldier assigned to the 82nd Airborne at Fort Bragg. So the clash occurred near Tal al-Zahab in the Syria's northeast, where a tenuous U.S. military presence has helped protect lucrative oil fields and chased lingering Islamic State militants. Altercations with local militias and Russian forces last year highlighted the unpredictable nature of the mission there, and at least one incident followed the U.S. troops home. So what's interesting here is he's being charged with 2 counts of failure to obey a lawful order, 2 counts of reckless endangerment, 1 count of communicating threats, and 3 counts of obstructing justice. The case is now awaiting an Article 32 hearing to determine whether it will go to court-martial. And this guy was originally called a hero for what he did. So initially he's called a hero for what he did, and now he's facing potential court-martial for it. The case stems from a roughly 10-minute gunfight which erupted at a pro-Syrian regime checkpoint on August 17th, 2020. The exchange reportedly killed 1 Syrian fighter and wounded 2 others, though there were no U.S. casualties. We got veteran influencers with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Welcome to the chat as always. That always means a lot to me. Thank you for being here. We've got, so the exchange reportedly killed 1 Syrian fighter and wounded 2 others, though there were no U.S. casualties. A portion of the gunfight was caught on video. So here's that video. We'll just watch this really quick.
هذه فقط ورده كيفي؟ ها؟ ورده كيفي؟
All right, so it's obviously really hard to tell what's going on in that video. Sounds like people are speaking Arabic and rolling down a window to exchange some gunfire. Game Hopes, $1.99 super chat, euros, $2 euro super chat. Thank you very much. Let's go. Let's get it going. Getting you guys some representation on the screen there on the alerts. So thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I do really appreciate it. Half a year later, OIR spokesman Colonel Wayne Morado declined to comment on the findings of an investigation into the incident. The U.S.-led coalition cannot comment on any allegations that are under investigation or the subject of current or pending court martials. So it's not exactly clear on what started the fighting, except that we have some information here. As part of the SOP, soldiers were told to stay 2 kilometers away from particular Syrian forces, but the missions that they were on presumably took them within 2 kilometers of those same Syrian forces. This is common. This is common. You get told you have to stay a certain amount of standoff away from enemies while you're doing bilateral operations. That means with Syrian or whoever, for example, if you're in Iraq with Iraqi army and yourselves, and then you just can't because the enemy can just come to you, or you have to go rescue somebody or something like that, or you get lost, or any of those things can happen. So it's really hard to follow that exactly. Now, you always have the inherent right for self-defense. So if you get shot at, you have a right to shoot back. If you feel like your life is in danger, you have a right to defend yourself. I've never heard of anywhere that the military is that does not have that ROE, the inherent right to self-defense. And there was also a platoon commander leading the patrol, Stackhouse said, but that soldier only received a general officer memorandum of reprimand. Now, his platoon commander was there. In fact, his platoon commander was in one of the more lead vehicles, and Nickerson's vehicle was the trail vehicle. The platoon commander is not charged, so why are they charging Nickerson? A spokesman for the 82nd Airborne, Colonel Mike Burns, confirmed that only Nickerson is facing charges, but declined to comment on whether the platoon leader received a go-more, a letter, basically a memorandum of reprimand. So the pocket of regime control that was over there has existed since the start of the Syrian civil war, and U.S. forces would have been well aware of it. It is quite possible that this was a floating checkpoint that the local regime-aligned militia decided to set up to harass the Americans at a time of tension between the U.S. and Russian forces in northern Syria. When the patrol encountered the checkpoint, the platoon leader was speaking with higher headquarters while Nickerson interacted with pro-Syrian regime forces through an interpreter. According to Stackhouse, OIR officials said after the incident, the U.S. patrol was cleared to pass through the gate, before they were fired upon. As the gunfight unfolded, Nickerson and another soldier left their trucks to draw fire away from the gunner who needed to reload a crew-served weapon, according to an account published by the nonprofit UAP, the United American Patriots. Nickerson isn't facing allegations that he acted inappropriately once combat started. The allegations are that he instigated the fight by using threatening language against Syrians. So the quote here is, but they are alleging that Nickerson sort of prospectively threatened the forces at the checkpoint that if they shot or attacked Americans, harm would come to them. Being there to begin with, they're saying, is reckless endangerment. So the Army's saying that they shouldn't have been there because they had the standing order to stay 2 kilometers away. But once they were there, he basically instigated a fight by threatening them. And what I actually think they mean is he probably said something like, we will F you up, we will just wreck you, screw you, we'll send you to your God, all kinds of crazy trash talk like that. Because if he just said, hey, by the way, if you shoot at us, we're going to shoot back, that doesn't sound like a reason to court-martial anybody, right? Now, I've seen this kind of stuff unfold with my own eyes where, you could have an interpreter interpreting for you with a local, and the interpreter and the local get into some kind of screaming match. And the interpreter goes, I'll freaking kill you, we're going to kill you, kill your mothers, all this stuff. Horrible. Like, damn, dude, chill. Like, we need you to throttle it back. So, that could have been the case. Or I've also had platoon leaders who would go up and start threatening locals in ways that are intended to stir up some kind of, potential violence. And that was not good. And this particular platoon leader was relieved of duty. So you can't do that. Bro went on an Xbox Call of Duty live match chat on one of those dudes. Yeah, nothing gets worse than that, huh? So I could see that. If that's what they're saying. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what I think happened, but that's what I imagine is the intention behind them saying he threatened them. Because you've got signs on the vehicle that say stay back or we'll shoot. Like, it would be normal to say, if you guys shoot at us or anything, we'll shoot you. We'll shoot back. That'd be normal. It would even be normal to say, hey, if you guys shoot at us, we're going to crush you. All right? If you guys shoot at us, we will destroy you. No joke. Don't shoot at us. It'll end badly for you. But then I've seen stuff where people go out of their way to just culturally insult locals. And then you do that maybe because you know that might, stir the hornet's nest, because maybe that's what you want. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens here. But what do you guys think? Knowing what you know now about this story, what do you think? Should Nickerson be brought up on charges for what happened here, or should he be hailed as a hero? The same month that Nickerson's patrol got into their gunfight at the checkpoint, a Russian military vehicle purposefully collided with vehicles driven by U.S. paratroopers, reads an 82nd Airborne Division news release discussing the end of the deployment in February. American and Russian officials traded blame in late August 2020 over that incident, which was likened to a Mad Max race across the Syrian desert caught on video. The area where Nickerson's patrol was attacked is one of the few pockets of the regime's support in northeastern Hasaka province. The U.S. has walked on eggshells to keep U.S. forces out of contact with regime forces to stay on the counter-ISIS mission. The only exception to that is for self-defense. It is exceedingly rare for U.S. forces and regime-aligned forces to clash. He noted, for the most part, they avoid each other. The incident was highly unusual. Well, I will say the United American Patriots, the UAP, is on the case, and they do have a history of representing soldiers and Americans who are being brought up on charges that they are disputing by getting them good lawyers and representation and raising money and awareness about their cause. So as this story continues, if there's any news about it, I'll be sure to bring it to you. I could see it going either way. I think it's wrong to go out of your way to instigate, foreign nationals of another country so that you get them to fight you. And I've seen it happen with and the only reason I bring it up is because I've seen it happen with my own eyes. Now, if that's not what happened, if he said something along the lines of, hey, we're rolling through here, try something and see what happens. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with that. It's violent. The violence is a part of war. Being aggressive is a part of war. It's a mandatory part of it. It's like the biggest part. So I don't see a real big issue with any of that. I guess it all comes down to what was said. And then did the interpreter use his own language? Because I've seen that. I've seen interpreters yell at locals and say things that I don't even know where they come up with this stuff. They're good trash talkers, I'll tell you that. They're pretty good trash talkers. So you guys let me know what you think in the chat. I'm curious. Game Hope says, Call of Duty, online Call of Duty matches back in the day, Black Ops and Modern Warfare, what I would call a no-holds-barred matchup. Nobody cared about what they said. Crazy. I don't think so. No need for a court-martial, in my opinion. Then again, service isn't a spewing ground. Yep. We'll see when we get more information. Started on the original Xbox, and it amazed me how little the majority of people talk on live nowadays. If you didn't, you was whack back in the day. Yeah, I do remember screaming, yelling, smack talk. I do remember some horrible trash talk back in the day. Lost in translation, possibly? Maybe. There's also a good chance it was the correct translation and it was aggressive language. Nothing wrong with aggressive language, but there are things that you, as a trained, experienced soldier in the Middle East, you would know exactly what to say to start trouble. And you would know how to avoid it. For sure. So if you deliberately go out of your way to say things that spur violence, that you know, because of your experience and training, leaves the people in that country with, in their mind, no other option than to respond with violence, then you're partly responsible for it happening. If he was to have culturally different story, if he truly instigated a fight which resulted in injuries, then yes, of course, but clearly it would have been reported on the record. Culturally offended, I mean, yeah, I feel you, but the Army hasn't released a lot of what's on the record, and I don't think anything on the record that UAP or the advocates for this case that looks bad for Nickerson, they would have focused on this article, right? Because this article is saying, maybe he's being unfairly charged. This article from the Army Times, they probably wouldn't have gone out of their way to say, yeah, he told him to go F his mother or something like that, right? They probably would have left that out of the article because that's how people report. They report only the facts that are most useful for their version of the story. So let's see. Game Hope says, I gotta wait for this chat to pop up. It's nearly 3 a.m. over here, so excuse my vocabulary and grammar. Hey, no problem, dude. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're enjoying watching this episode because we're about to roll into with a quick reminder that Patreon is always open for business. You guys can go over there and check out Patreon if you want to support this channel. One of the best ways to support the channel is share the videos to friends and family and shipmates and battle buddies and devil dogs and whoever you got out there. Invite them to the chat, share the video, get people watching the videos. What cameras are you using again? I'm using Blackmagic cameras, Donnie. I'm using Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro right now is what you're looking at. If you want to talk cameras and gear, hit me up, and I'm happy to chat with you. By the way, great timing for that question. It's the perfect segue to let you guys know that we're about to watch a music video with my friend Ace and her song Deuce out here from Okinawa, Japan. She's an Air Force vet. She's a great musician. She wrote this song, recorded it. It's pretty awesome. And I shot and edited the music video using Blackmagic cameras. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's check it out. Without further ado, here we go.
Marilla, what the fuck is this?
I got a table for two, yeah, ugly bitch, I'm talking about you. You was so worried about me, I recommend that you worry about you. You talking shit with no proof, oh, you not hard, that shit's just a ruse. Your body's built so obtuse, I'm the big body, you're just a spoof. I'm good in any hood, down south Atlanta to all the way Inglewood. You hoes just wish you could do more than fuck niggas for somewhere to sleep and food. I'm tired of telling you, I won't fuck around with your baby back dude. Oh, don't get misconstrued, keep fucking with me and I'll do what it do. I might have an OnlyFans, made a few racks and I'm stacking my bands. You not my only fan, post a new pic, now he all in my DMs. If he do like sonograms, you a fake hoe, I'ma call you Juana man. Discourse was not the plan, but I'ma keep going till you understand. I might have an OnlyFans, made a few racks and I'm stacking my bands. You not my only fan, post a new pic, now he all in my DMs. You see through like sonograms, you a fake hoe, I'ma call you Juana man. Discourse was not the plan, but I'ma keep going till you understand. I got a table for two, girl, where do I start when I'm talking about you? You sold that coochie for loot, you gave Sin a Pete and he gave you the boot. You should've just stayed on mute, posted anonymous, trying to be cute. Sis, I don't fight that shoot, so both of you chickens go back to the coop. Only fuck with upper echelons, you was sign A, I'm a mega don. You was talking shit, so it's so long, nigga, I was putting money in your thong. Little bum bitches asking me for help, keep on cutting up and I'ma get the belt. Pete's poor reviews, posted up on Yelp, cause tight pussy walls ain't what he felt. I might have an OnlyFans, made a few racks and I'm stacking my bands. You not my only fan, post a new pic, now he all in my DMs. You see through like sonograms, you a fake hoe, I'ma call you Juana man. Discourse was not the plan, but I'ma keep going till you understand. This ain't red table talk, come over here and I'm gonna let my hands off. Kiss my posterior, I am the alpha and you're the inferior. You got you some black dick, ran off at the mouth, I'ma bag you like Saks Fifth. You smoking that crack shit, call you Mr. Lovato, all that false bravado.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that music video. I was lucky enough to meet her, and we worked together, and we recorded that video, and it was a super fun time, and I was able to edit it and get it out to her, and we're going to do another music video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. So Justin says, OnlyFans people about to learn about that 40% tax. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Or they're about to learn about that IRS when they don't report that. Let's see. Donnie, yeah, hit me up, man, if you got any questions about cameras. Let's see. Very well, my friend. Thanks for asking. Love these lives and never want to miss one. I did miss Enlist last night. Oh, no worries. It would have been like 5 in the morning your time. Hashtag super legit. So, I'm trying, I work on my video production business out here. I do that as a side business and it's pretty fun. I do love doing it. So let's see. Seawater says, but she looks and sounds different when out doing the groceries at Banana Stop. She knows how to rap though. Fair play for sure. Not my taste, but for those who like rap, she is a great one to listen to for sure. Very professional recorded music and beats. So it was a pleasure to work with her. She was super nice. And we had a really fun time. So yeah, like I said, we're going to be working together again. That's Ace. The song's called Deuce. It's out on YouTube. You can listen to it right now. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Damn, it went by quick. Justin's right. It went by really quick. So that flew by. It's already 11 a.m. out here in Okinawa, and I got to go get ready. I got a big day in front of me. I'm going to take my doggo out to the dog park, which is always a good time. So, yeah, you know what? With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I really appreciate you being here. Thanks, Sea Wild Earth, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Everybody who's been in the chat. DWK Videos for stopping by. That's awesome. You guys are the best ever, best in the business as far as audience goes, coming to hang out with me here, my friends on the ScuttleButt Show. Probably no games later, Eric, unfortunately, because I've got this video to go do, but there will be games coming soon, maybe over the weekend, definitely next week. So stay tuned for that. I plan on maybe working on a video for over the weekend, something that I need to put out for you guys, but we'll see. No guarantees on any of that. And by the way, on Patreon, the little teaser trailer for that big video project I've been working on is available to watch right now. So thank you guys who've checked that out already. And we're going to look at scheduling the Patreon only Zoom call so we can all get to know each other a little bit better over there soon, because we got the results of that poll in for everybody who participated. So that's going to be it for today, guys. That's it from me. I look forward to talking to you next week and really soon. Follow me on Instagram for updates on stuff that I'm doing outside of the live shows here. And I will talk to you soon. I am out for now.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.